Experts of the Astana Hub International Technology Park presented the Startup Sapary program and one of its modules, Startup School in Almaty. This is an intensive course, the main purpose of which is to train beginning businessmen in the basics of entrepreneurship across the country in the shortest time possible. For example, Astana Hub mentors explain how a classic business differs from a startup, what are its advantages, and what technological solutions can be in demand on the Kazakhstan market. Today, the plan is to cover all regions, and it doesn't matter whether it's a rural area, a big city, a city with population of 1 million. Talents are everywhere. Often young people, young entrepreneurs have a good idea, but there is no good support, or they might lack certain knowledge due to their young age. We work in order to support them, in order to direct them in the right direction. Also, of course, we strive to explain and help understand this system, that a startup business today is not only starting a business to make money. A startup is about creating jobs. It is about solving some state problem. First of all, Astana Hub is interested in high-tech IT projects that can be quickly launched and easily scaled. According to the head of the Technopark, special attention is paid to the fields of education, agriculture, and medicine.
You know, why is the government investing in startups, in innovation, right? Startups don't make money for a little while. They don't solve problems for a little while. They don't build roads and these important things, so why do it? And I think it's two big things. I think it's, first of all, you know, half the country is very young. Half the country is, well, to me, very young, so under 30. So there's a lot of really smart people that go education overseas a lot of times, either on their own or Bolshek. And they see the world and they come back and they want interesting opportunities, right? Interesting work, interesting career, interesting way to contribute.
The experts of Astana Hub hope that projects like the Startup School will help to create a critical mass of startups in Kazakhstan, which ideas will become successful and profitable. By the way, novice entrepreneurs who attended the course can count on the support of the Technology Park. The program is developed according to the Lean Startup methodology. A founder-father of this strategy is Steve Blank. Then there is also Eric Ries's book, The Lean Startup. We also use the outline of Osterwalder's business model. It turns out it is such a mixed methodology, the most useful tools we teach in this course.
Смешанная методология, да, то есть мы самые полезные инструменты преподаем на этом курсе.
Novice entrepreneur Joly Dusmetov decided to go through the startup school for two reasons. The first, the young man wants to understand the basics of business. The second, he plans to create a mobile application designed for search of technical inspection stations. Let's say a car costs 500,000 tenge, and the repair itself as well as full painting costs 300,000. With these costs, there is no sense for a driver to repair the car at all. In addition, he needs a cheaper repair, and I want to create an application that will allow a car owner to see different auto repair shops on the map that will be ready to do repairs for him for the amount of money he can pay. Thanks to the Startup Sapary program, innovative ideas will fall into a special base, and their authors will be invited to Astana Hub as potential participants. The Technology Park emphasizes that the official status will allow startuppers not only to successfully develop their business, but also to receive special preferences, including tax exemption, visa support, and much more. German food delivery corporation Delivery Hero has agreed to acquire its South Korean rival, Woowa Brothers, for $4 billion. The company says it plans to set up a joint venture in Singapore to enter the fast-growing food delivery market in Asia. As Woowa noted, selling a startup was a kind of survival strategy in an extremely competitive market that has more than doubled over the past 5 years, reaching $6 billion. These figures are higher than in Japan and Germany combined. They are second only to China, the United States, and Great Britain. French pharmaceutical giant Sanofi will buy Synthrox biotechnology company. The agreement was unanimously approved by the boards of directors of both enterprises. Under the terms of the agreement, Sanofi will acquire all ordinary shares of Synthrox at a price of $68 per share. The transaction is expected to close in the first quarter of 2020 after receiving the necessary approvals from regulators. The company expects to use Synthrox technology, including an innovative platform for the study of DNA, to develop new biological products not only to fight cancer but also in other areas. Diet Genius DNA service for weight loss is one of the few domestic projects that has not been tested in Kazakhstan. The startup is initially focused on the United States of America. The genomic data market of this country is considered the largest in the world, and at the same time, it is clearly regulated at the legislative level. Therefore, Kazakhstan product is in great demand there.
Мы берем нужные нам массивы данных.
We take the data we need and use it in our system in order to tell you what is going on specifically, for example, with your metabolism. We can determine what kind of sport better suits your needs, how much sleep affects your daily diet.
Насколько сон влияет, на ваш дневной рацион, да?
Simply put, the system collects information about a person bit by bit, shows the most detailed picture of his body, and makes an effective schedule for losing weight. The platform uses several sources to collect data. The first is a survey where you need to make a list of the most commonly used foods. Further, based on the responses received, a report is generated: what the user was eating, how nutritious this food was, and much more. Then the vitamin counter opens. Here we have the following functions. We can add different kinds of food. At the same time, when we add it, we immediately see the amount of consumed proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. We also see the amount of vitamins consumed. We have 6 in this case: A, B12, B9, C, D, E. Supermarkets are the second source from where the program draws information. More than 560,000 different ingredients are already listed in the database. And when the user indicates in the app what he ate today, you can see how the U.S. Food Safety Authority evaluates this food. The next function that we have is management of physical activity. For example, we can simply write in that we played football for 30 minutes, and then we press OK. We confirm our action and see that the number of calories burned has increased. And finally, the third and most important key to obtain the genomic data of Americans is the Helix.com website. It is also called an app store in the world of DNA. With the help of this resource, domestic startuppers monetize the project. When buying a DNA test on the site, the user can also buy Diet Genius for $89. We are now considering the possibility of releasing API very seriously. And in fact, applications like MyFitness, which have millions of subscribers, can offer our service as an additional option for their users.
То есть мы хотим просто предлагать им, как доп. Услугу для своих пользователей.
According to the developers of the DNA service for weight loss, simply creating a quality product is not enough to survive in the US market. Great attention needs to be paid to marketing, and this will be a priority in the development of the company for the coming year. In addition, developers will expand the functionality of the platform. In particular, a bot assistant will be created, a personal motivator that will help achieve your weight loss goals. Can you hear me? Too much light. This way is fine. Hello, my name is Anton Musin. I'm Managing Director of Accenture, Kazakhstan.
Что такое индустрия 4.0?
What is Industry 4.0, or the Fourth Industrial Revolution, as it is often called? In general, in the history of mankind, there have been several revolutionary leaps. The first revolution, if one can call it that, is an agrarian revolution. Mankind began to grow its own food products, plants. It cultivated plants, domestic animals, and thereby completely changed itself. The second revolution was an industrial revolution.
Изменила полностью себя. Вторая революция, произошедшая, была промышленная революция. Человечество в ходе промышленной революции.
During the Industrial Revolution, mankind has been able to mass-produce goods. This fundamentally changed our life. If you look, before we had no opportunity to buy a jacket, a tie, or a mug before the Industrial Revolution. Now there is an opportunity to produce them in hundreds of thousands, millions of pieces. We can go to the store and choose any jacket or mug you like for very little money. You used to have to do all this. It was a huge manual labor. The third revolution is the information one, and we became its witnesses. The attitude towards information and its processing has fundamentally changed. We began to use the internet. It greatly changed our lives. See how you navigate everything around you from the point of view of your smartphone. Technology and information greatly changed the way you interact with people. It greatly speed up the interaction among people in general.
Сильно изменила способ взаимодействия с людьми. Это сильно ускорило наше с вами взаимодействие.
Well, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which I want to tell you about, is associated with the use of a combination of new technologies that we spoke about before.
Совокупности технологий новых, о которых мы говорили и раньше. Это блокчейн, это искусственный
This is blockchain. This is artificial intelligence. This is the Internet of Things, technology related to fifth-generation networks. This is bioengineering and genetic engineering.
связанные с сетями пятого поколения. Это биоинженерия и генетическая инженерия. Интересно также наблюдать вот за
It is also interesting to observe the desire of states to comply with this Fourth Industrial Revolution. For example, in Germany, there has been a program focused specifically on the implementation of this fourth wave of industrial revolution. That is expressed primarily in the creation of automated production facilities for a long time now. They can create certain goods without any human involvement or some objects, no matter what. And this is done completely automatically and under the unique request of the user or a potential buyer.
Причем это делается полностью автоматизированно и делается под уникальный запрос пользователя или потенциального покупателя.
Today, progress has reached truly unprecedented heights, and the new generation is able to use such opportunities that people only dreamed about 10 to 15 years ago. One such point is virtual reality, and in this area, Kazakhstan startuppers already have something to boast about. For example, the company Singularity Lab developed the first domestic arcade racing game. It was created specifically for virtual reality in order to experience all its charms. This is, first of all, the dynamics of it, its speed, and at the same time, the avoidance of such virtual reality problems that are associated with the motion sickness, which is also called nausea during movement. A high degree of immersion is a key advantage of the game. Events unfold in a fictional universe. Here, gamers have to navigate through complex mazes, simultaneously firing off enemies. In addition, players will have access to multiplayer.
Мы используем игровой движок Unreal Engine, на котором
We use the game engine Unreal Engine that implements all of our mechanics, flight and control mechanics. Effectors are those who make effects, create the entire visual component. Level designers create levels. Absolutely everything that is presented here is implemented by our level designers and based on the concepts that our artists draw.
Левел-дизайнерами и на основе концептов, которые рисуют наши художники.
Startuppers did not accidentally make the choice in favor of this game engine. Unreal Engine is an open digital computer world. In addition to that, it can be used in various genres. The flexibility of technology allows you to create shooters, strategies, quests, simulators, and much more within its system. I'm currently working on a mobile version of JetX. It will be a free game for mobile helmet of virtual reality, and just for ordinary phones. It will be almost the same copy of the usual JetX game, but more simplified for mobile devices. Today, there are about 2 million VR gamers in the world. Most of them live in the USA, China, and Japan. In Kazakhstan, there are only a few hundred virtual reality gamers. Therefore, the game JetX was originally designed for foreign markets, and very soon it will appear on the stream service and will cost $15. The main plan is the PlayStation. Getting there is much more difficult. You can't get registered there, and our main plan was to find a publisher who can bring us to the PlayStation. According to Goldman Sachs Investment Bank, the market for virtual and augmented reality will reach $35 billion by 2025, and most of this market, or $11.6 billion, will be occupied by video games. Everyone had a question at least once in his life, where to store the accumulated property and unused things. There is no desire to clutter up your own house. There is not always enough space on the balcony too. That's when the self-storage warehouses come into play. These are personal storage rooms where people store bulky items. Kazakhstan startup Zipsklad works according to this principle. We have 400 boxes, mainly with dimensions of 2.5 square meters and 7.5 square meters. But if this area is not enough for the client, we can increase it from 2 adjacent boxes and make one. For example, 5 square meters, and the client gets a little more space. You can store here everything. However, the list of not allowed items includes flammable substances, food, medicine, precious metals, and money. Excluding these goods, it turns out that 70% of users are individuals. The remaining 30% are legal entities. If we talk about what is stored in our warehouse, individuals in the summer store snowboards, skis, sleds, and in the winter, all those things that are not used during that season. Small companies mainly store their documents, archives, and online stores keep their goods, and from here, they distribute it to their customers. Vasily Pechennikov is the head of a small online store selling electronics and computer equipment. Such a self-service warehouse attracts Vasily, first of all, with correctly thought-out logistics. This place has a convenient location in the city. First of all, I am able to choose any warehouse size. It can easily be arranged. You can take smaller or bigger premise, depending on what you need. The registration procedure is very simple. An agreement is created and signed, which indicates the area and duration of the rent. We do not currently deliver, but we have several partner companies that help us with the delivery. They provide movers, cars, disassembling or assembling of the furniture, and packaging services. Project managers did not expect such a rapid growth of the service. According to them, the secret to the company's success lies in the trust of customers who do not doubt the safety of their belongings. Safety comes first. This is fire safety, video surveillance system, round-the-clock security. We also provide round-the-clock access for our customers, and company employees do not have access to the contents of the boxes. Recently, a similar warehouse with an area of 500 square meters was opened in Nur Sultan. The next stage in the development of a startup is scaling up the idea of a hotel for things to other regions of Kazakhstan. U.S. largest meat producer Tyson Foods is investing up to $5 billion in the construction of 3 meat processing plants in Kazakhstan. This was recently announced by the Minister of Agriculture of the Republic, Saparkhan Omarov. The launch of the first factory worth $1.25 billion is planned for 2020. Its capacity will be 2,000 heads of cattle or 100 to 120,000 tons of meat per day. These products will mainly be exported to the markets of China, Russia, and other countries of Central Asia. The domestic company Custo Group and the American holding Valmont Industries signed an agreement on the principles of effective irrigation and improving agricultural productivity in Kazakhstan. The document includes the point about the construction of Valley Irrigation Unit, assembly plant in the Republic in 2022. Its capacity will be 1,000 frontal and circular irrigation machines per year. U.S. irrigation technology will increase crop productivity and reduce agricultural water cost by 50%.